Hello, my name is Andrew Rojas, and this is my dad, Rolando Rojas. He's got a lot of information to tell about where he was born and what he did. Alright, first question. What country are you originally from?
I am from Cuba.
Why did you leave this country?
Why did we leave Cuba? It was all for political reasons. My family did not agree with the government of Fidel Castro.
When did you leave, and how old were you at the time?
We left in April of 1969, and I was 9 years old back then.
Cool. What were the conditions in the country when you left?
There was a lot of tension because just a few years before there was the invasion of the Bay of Pigs. They were considering, the people in the country felt that they were going to be invaded again. So there was fear, there was tension, and the fact that we disagreed with the current government, we were somewhat ostracized and we were looked upon as enemies.
How did you prepare for your trip here?
There wasn't much time to prepare for the trip. We were informed just 2 days or 3 days before we left.
Who came with you when you immigrated? Who did you leave behind, and what did you leave behind?
Well, my mother and father, my second brother, my middle brother, and we left behind my oldest brother because the government did not permit anyone beyond the age of 14 to leave the country.
Did you leave anything else behind?
Physically or nothing? Not really. There wasn't much. They took my father's business and everything was taken away from us.
How did you get here? And did you stay somewhere else before arriving here?
Yeah, we left from the Varadero airport. We arrived in Miami on April 1st, 1969. And we stayed the first night at the Liberty House, which is now a historical building down in Florida.
Why did you choose the United States? Why not some other country?
Well, first of all, the U.S. had an embargo against Cuba for political reasons. The fact that we were anti-government of Fidel Castro, we came as refugees. It was political reasons, and we came as refugees, and the doors were open to us because of that.
Who decided you would come here? Did you want to leave?
Well, basically, it was my parents. My father lost his business. The government just actually came and took the grocery store and said, we own it. My father had no say in it. And also the fact that my mother's brother was Batista. He was a soldier against Fidel Castro. We were part of a anti-Fidel Castro group.
How did others in your home country treat you when they knew you were leaving?
The expression was we were this sign, which meant we were a worm. Low life, crawling on the ground. We were the enemy. And we will betray our birthplace and the country that we lived and born in.
What changes in lifestyle did you make when you came here?
Well, in Florida was no big difference. We were there just for a few days. The weather was the same. Everything seemed the same. There were quite a few Spanish people there. However, my uncle was in Florida. My uncle on my father's side. However, my aunt on my mother's side was in New Jersey. And coming here was it was a great impact because of the fact that it was cold. And that we were not prepared for.
What was your first impression of the United States? Has this initial impression changed over time?
Spacious. We came to Florida and we had old friends that were part of the previous government, and they were pretty wealthy. So when they came here, they must have brought some of their funds or money. And we went to Fort Lauderdale to see an old friend. And that's the first time that I saw color television. They had a color television, and the first TV show was Glenn Campbell.
Cool. What are some of the differences, similarities you notice in the cultures here and in your home country?
Similarities
And differences.
and differences. Similarities. Generalizing, Cubans are very ambitious. That's what has made this ethnic group so successful. We were ambitious, we were driven to be better than what we were before. I guess it was trying to prove to the previous even families that stayed behind and the government that no matter us being left, being brought to this country as worms, we became well off. And differences, I guess we didn't understand. I didn't understand all the different cultural, ethnic groups that were here. I didn't know what that was all about. They were different. Everybody had different cultures.
What were your hopes for yourself or your family when you came here? Have you realized these hopes?
Yes. The plans were to immediately file for residence and become citizens of this country, so we could request our oldest brother to be brought to this country.
How were you treated when you first arrived in the United States? How are you treated now?
Well, in Florida, everything was new. We were somewhat in shock because it was so different, but it was everything was available. It was so spacious. It was Miami, and it was nice. It was very nice. Coming to New Jersey was difficult. Living in New Jersey was difficult. We didn't speak the language. We were looked upon as strangers that did not belong here. We were, to some extent, we were looked down upon. We were not liked. And going into a small school that we did, we were not permitted to speak our native language, tongue. The teachers that I had thought that we were talking about them. The fact that we did not understand, they didn't have ESL. So I was put right into the mainstream group, and I could not do anything in class other than mathematics. And that was my strength. There was only one Hispanic student in the class, and there were very few students in the entire school, Spanish students.
Were your expectations of America met? Was your idea of America the same as the reality?
Yes, we were able to go to school. We were both my brothers. My oldest brother, even though he stayed behind, he got his college degree. I have my college degree also. My middle brother he didn't finish college, but he was able to attend. and we're pretty much middle class, I guess. We're doing well, so we have met the criteria of being successful.
All right. Thank you.